Hi class, this is Mr. Pyers again. This is our final section of the Test 20 review. So let's jump right into this. First one we're looking at, it says solve for x. So guess what? When it says solve for x, you know what we're going to do? We're going to solve for x. And so the way we'll do that is we're going to end up with x equals something. So before we do first, we take the negative 3/4 plus 2/3 x equals 12. So we want to isolate the x. So how can we do that? The very first thing that we can do is we got to get rid of this negative 3/4. We get rid of that by adding 3/4 to both sides. And we end up with 2/3 x is equal to 1/12 plus 3/4 equals 1/12 plus 9/12, right? Which is 10/12. Okay, or 5/6. So now we have 2/3 x is equal to 5/6. So we multiply both sides by 3/2. And we end up making that a 2, and we end up with x equals 5/4, and that's your answer, guys. Next one, we solve for x. So again, we're going to find out what x equals something. So we end up with 5x minus 2 is equal to x minus 6. So the first thing we do is we distribute the 5x minus 2, and we end up with 5x minus 10 equals x plus 6. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and subtract x from both sides. Okay. And minus x. And we're going to add 10 to both sides. And that means that we'll end up with 4x is equal to 16. Divide both sides by 4, and we get x is equal to 4. Our third problem here, our next problem, simplify the expression. Now in this case, that doesn't mean that we're going to come up with a real value here. We're just going to come up with a more simplified way of looking at it. So we end up with 6/2, which is 3, times x to the negative 1 plus 3 minus 1 times y to the 2 minus 1. So what we end up here is that 6/2 becomes 3. X minus 1 plus 3 minus 1 becomes 3x to the first times y to the first, and that's your answer. 3xy. Next problem. We simplify the expression 33 1/3% of 2/3 of 0.027. So the first thing we look at, remember we can convert 33 1/3% into a fraction. And the fraction for 33 1/3% is 1/3 times, it's not divided by, it's times 2/3 times 0.27. So 1/3 of 2/3 is equal to 2
Repair Windows errors
over 9. I'm not sure where that came from. Sorry about that. 2 over 9 times 0.27 is equal to, we go and eliminate the 9, that becomes 0.03. And so the answer is 2 times 0.03 or 0.06. And that's your answer. Next expression that we want to simplify. -5 plus -4 times 3, which is plus -12 or minus 12, minus a -2, which is equal to a plus 2, all over -1. In this case, -5 plus -12 becomes -17, plus 2 becomes -15 over -1 is equal to 15. Now we have one more simplify the expression, and what we have is 0.2 times minus 0.02 over 0.2 times 0.02. We got enough 2's in this one, and I'm sorry about that, but that's the way it goes. So minus 2 minus 0.02 is 0.18, right? So it's minus 0.20 minus 0.02, that's 0.18, okay? And that's over 0.2 times 0.02, which is 0.004. So we got 0.18 over 0.004, which is the same thing as 180 over 4. And 4 into 180 is equal to 45. And that's our answer. And that's all we got for this. So wish you luck on the test, guys.